Namatu Ratana Tayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is a Sunday in the evening, and it's been a while that I haven't been online directly talking to the members. So, and I thought that today I will be here to share some thoughts and what has been or had been in the temple so far. Past few months, I have been neglecting to give talks live such like this today, and simply due to different reasons and different responsibilities that I have taken on, and also finding that it is time for me to get some little rest, and that is how I decided to stay off the screen for some times. And now today again, due to certain reasons, and some of you may have known that another monk has left, and I'm living alone here at the temple. So good evening, Margaret, and good evening, Ranjini, and good evening, everyone, those who are watching. So, and last week, I again closed the temple for some reasons. I was taking a retreat, online retreat, which ran through Thailand, and which requires me to be awake during the nights, and so I took some rests in the day, and that is the reason behind I decided to close the temple to attend that retreat. And a retreat is always very important for us so that we can learn ourselves, and also we can investigate our understanding and purifying our practice, which requires a significant amount of the practice. And sometimes, although you are doing alone, it is not as you are working or practicing with the community of monks and teachers. And it's very good to have someone there to talk and share our feelings and emotions, or even our progress in a practice, which I always found very interesting and very helpful, having a teachers in the front and giving us advice. So it ended on a Friday, so which was quite interesting. And again, I have decided to join such online retreats in following months, and it will continue for some times. And as a result, I may have to close the temple for some times whenever I'm attending those online retreats. Nevertheless, I will try my best to be here with you all and giving you talks. And further on, there are a few announcements that I would like to make for a couple of weeks. That basically next week again, I will be going down to England to teach on a retreat. And then the following week, so that is the 31st of October, I'll be back to the temple. And that week will be a preparation for our Katina which is an annual Katina event on the 7th of November. So we are organizing this event here at the temple. So we have to set up tents and a significant amount of preparation needed to be done. And if you wish to join, you're most welcome and help and volunteer to attend those preparation. Meanwhile, obviously, you can come to join on the 7th of November too. And just one notice would be that because we are celebrating it inside the tent, there is a possibility, not a possibility, it will be cold. So just wrap up yourself if you're interested to join, making sure that you have good clothing to come and join. As we are living in Scotland, why worry about the cold and the rains, as they say? Okay. So, and this is the coming to the end of the Vassa, the 3 months rains retreat. And next month, next week would be the end of the Vassa, which is on the 21st. Is it 21st? Yes. So it's the 21st. Thursday, the 21st of October, will be a full moon day and end of Vassa. And that begins with that is the beginning of the Katina season. And on that day, we will have a 1 day retreat, kind of from 9 to 9, early morning. At 9 o'clock, we will start our meditation. By observing the sila, and then it will be a silent retreat. So each individuals, those who are coming to the temple, they have to attain this ceremony and observing the silent retreat. And that will end at around 9 o'clock, basically after the evening chanting, so one can depart. So you can come and join with us in this silent retreat on 21st of October. And following day 22nd would be called Devarohana. And this is the day signifies that after the Buddha visited his birthplace, Kapilavastu, to teach his relatives on that year, on that the 7th year of becoming Buddha. It is the tradition said that traveled to the heavens to teach his mother, to pay gratitude and paying off the debt that the one mother has done to us. So the Buddha, he himself traveled to this Tawatingsa, one of the heavens, and then stayed there for 3 months and taught there for 3 months. And that's how all the teachings that was taught to the celestial beings, now it is compiled and believed that it is Abhidhamma, the third section of the Tripitaka. And this has been a tradition, and it is believed that on the next very day after the full moon of this month, which is the 22nd of October, a Buddha descended from the heaven to the earth. And it is believed that the day when he traveled down, descended from the heavenly world to the human world, the whole 3 worlds were opened. So that basically means the heaven, the humans, and the hell. So all the 3 worlds were open to welcome and celebrate the Buddha's descendants, descending from the heaven, and also celebrating his profound teachings that he had given to the celestial beings. And a person who knows these teachings definitely becomes someone who noble one. Okay? So that's why in these 2 days there will be ceremonies On the 21st, which is a full moon day, it is also known as the day of a Pavarana, and which is an invitation ceremony. And this invitation ceremony is a wonderful ceremony. I always emphasize in Buddhism there are two events that I always admire and which we can apply in our modern day life as well. And that is the beginning of the Vassa, which is 3 months ago. On the beginning of the Vassa, again, you are asking for forgiveness and that whatever you may have done, and then asking for the advice from the senior monks. And similarly, on this after the 3 months time, this is on full moon day. It's called Pavarana. Once again, it is within the community that we are living together. When we are living together, it is inevitable that there will be some controversies and disappointments and conflicts appear, whether it is intentionally or intentionally, or character crisis or personality crisis does appear. And yet, on the end of the Vassa, you're coming together and confessing one another that I may have done wrong to you. Please forgive me. And similarly, the person who is at the front of you also asking for forgiveness. Now, this ceremony, if we can apply in a current modern society, the society becomes harmonious. And sadly, it is not the case that whenever we are disappointed, whenever we don't like, and whether that's a reality or not, we simply go on and proliferating, and as a result of that, the gap becomes more bigger and bigger, and sometimes can be disaster. And this is very simple term. You're just twisting and turning all the proliferation and negative thoughts that you are boiling, that you are creating inside your mind. The moment you simply humbly go and pay respect to the senior monks and then asking for forgiveness, and similarly, juniors are asking and giving a forgiveness. It's called forgiving and forgetting one another. And in this case, I always look at the word itself, forgiveness and forgetting. The word saying for giving, not for keeping. So any negativities or any disappointments, or if somebody has done something wrong to you, in that case, and you feel sad and you feel disappointed, and these sadness and disappointed and negative thoughts are not for keeping. It is for giving. That's why it's called forgiveness. Forgiving. Now again, forgetting, and whatever you have, and after you have asked for forgiveness and you have given it up, giving it away, and that is forgetting, and that basically means it is for getting your own peace of mind, peace of happiness. So that's why this forgetting and forgiving is so important words that I normally reflect and use a lot in my day-to-day life too. And this is the same words that if you can apply in your daily routine or in your modern life beyond the monastic arena, I'm pretty sure that not only you become happy, but also people around you and the community will be happier too. And this is the beauty of the teachings of the Buddha. Makes you simple and makes you normal. It is not that after you have become a practitioner or a learner, you become a special or different than anybody else. But the teachings of the Buddha is basically, once you have understood, you become a normal. You become a person who is very humble. And that's why these will be shaped by your own understanding and perception to the things. And that's why this Pavarana is called Invitation Day, is so important and so valuable to keep the monastic together. keep the people together, keep the society together. Uh, and we just need to forget and say forgiving, yeah, and sorry. Yeah. And this is the ceremony a monk should perform on the day of a Pavarana, or basically on the day of a full moon, which is coming on the next week. If a monk doesn't perform this Pavarana, then again, this Katina ceremony cannot be performed, or Katina ceremony cannot be organized. So, in order to organize a Katina, a monk has to perform this Pavarana ceremony, and only then a temple would be able to organize the Katina. The following day would be a welcoming the Buddha descended from the heavens, and this is again a tradition, just to show our gratitude, show our happiness, to see the Buddha coming down. So these two ceremonies will be we organizing next week at the center. On the Pavarana, on the next day, which is 22nd of October, there will be like offering a traditional way of giving a dana, and that giving a dana and remembering the greatness and compassion of the Buddha who has shown the path to lead or to walk on the path to the liberation. Yeah. So this is the and then after that we will be preparing for the Katina on the 7th of November. And also on behalf of the center and me myself would like to extend my gratitude and thanks to everyone who have been sponsoring and supporting the center, and particularly on the Katina ceremony. There are so many people have sponsored the funds that we are raising for the meditation hall that we are going to build, if possible, next year. But if not, then we may continue raising fund until we get the sufficient fund to build the meditation hall. So that's why this Katina ceremony that we are organizing on the 7th of November will be jointly a religious ceremony that is offering a robe to a monk and also raising a fund to support this project of building a meditation hall. On the 7th, we are having a few monks coming from Birmingham and Manchester to support the Katina ceremony. As you may have known, that the Katina ceremony can be organized only when there are 5 monks or more than 5 monks. And the moment when there are more than 5 monks, then the ceremony can be organized. So that's why, despite we can't have 5 monks for 3 months, it would be good to have 5 monks throughout this 3 months range retreat. And yet, according to the tradition, in order to perform the Katina ceremony, we have to invite other monks from other temple to fulfill the requirement to perform or to organize the Katina ceremony. And that's the reason why we have invited other 4 monks to come up to Scotland in Aberdeen to organize and help this Katina ceremony. And obviously, Katina, we will have to organize some travel expenses and so on. And this is what I just wanted to share. These are the things happening at the center. Meanwhile, the practice is important, and the more we practice, the better we will become. And it is up to us that how much we are practicing. The practice makes perfect. The more we practice, the better we becomes. And in terms of the meditation, that this a whole 1 week of this retreat has given me another boost to understand some of the difficulties that I was going through in the meditation, and that has cleared some doubts and practicing. That's why I always encourage all the members to share their feelings and their experiences, which will help to clear the path. Without clearing the path, it would be very difficult to walk. And when we are walking with the difficulties, it sometimes takes away our energy and do not want to practice anymore. As we know that we are all driven by uh, the action that we perform simply to fulfill our desires, and all the action that we are motivated to carry out is basically because we want to get something out of it. Otherwise, we will not be performing any activities or behaviors that we are performing. So that's a practice of a meditation will help us to see that motivation and a desire that which way we are going through, because the motivation can be both negative and positive. If that is a positive, then that leads to happiness of oneself and happiness of others and happiness of the community. But in the meantime, if that's a desire or this motivation to gain something for the selfish region, then it can cause significant trouble to oneself, not to, possibly not to oneself, but to the other people and the community. And now we can see so many examples, particularly in Asian countries, the corruptions basically for the selfish reason, for personal growth or personal prosperity. And as a result, there are so many corruption going on. With that corruption, the whole society been corrupted. And not only the society corrupt, the whole community and the whole system corrupts. And as a result, it will be very difficult to develop the country and the society and even the mindset. So this even small things can change the whole system. Uh, so that's why the negative motivation that people normally have, particularly in a political arena, and this needs to check properly and be mindful that whether it is good, whether it is suitable, whether it is reasonable. When we have checked the suitability, when we have checked whether it is good, beneficial or not, and whether it is profitable or not for oneself and to others, and then to the community, and then gradually, if we are on the basis of that, when we are acting, that will bring harmony and peace within us. And obviously, in order to check those, the good, the benefit, and the skillful, and the suitability can be done when only there is a mindful awareness. So, this mindful awareness we have to develop by practicing and performing and checking again and again whatever we are doing. And remember, it is not about just physically you are sitting and meditating, but your mind is still corrupt, or your mind is still not purified, and then it will not be helpful at all. So that's why Buddha encouraged not only the physically you are sitting meditation and seeing the changes in your physical activities, but we have to see our thoughts and attitude to the things as well, that whether they are changed or not. The changing of our behavior and attitude to the things are more important, and that will shape ourselves and then others, and it nurtures our self in this life as well. So I offer this as a beginning of our online community, online talk. I hope that it gives you some food for the thought. And also, I don't have much information, stories to tell, as this is the first day. But I will try to come online and share some of the thoughts and teachings. But in the meanwhile, if you have anything you want me to talk, then again, you're most welcome to text me, and I will try my best to answer or come to the discussion. So, with this, may you all be well and happy, and I hope everybody is keeping well and healthy with the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May you have a good health and a good time and a successful life ahead. In a few moments' time, we will be having evening chanting, so you're most welcome to join with us too. So, thank you. Yo so bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Sawakato yena คะวะตาธัมโมสุปฏิปันโนยัสสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆธัมมายังภะคะวันตังสัทธัมมังสังฆังเอเมหิสการะหิยะทารังอโรปิเตหิหะภิปุชยามะสาธุโนพันเตภะคะวะสุจิราภรินิพุตโตปิปัจจิมาชนะตานุกัมปมานะสันเอเมสการะทุกตาปนาการะภูเตปฏิคันหาตุอัมหากังดีกรตังหิตายาสุขายามอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิหันธรรมายังบุตตสาปุปภาคณมการันเจวะพุทธานุสตินยัญจะกโรมาสินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะตังโฆปันภะคะวันตังเอวังกัลยาโนกิตติสัทโธหะภะคะโตเอเตปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธเวชาจารณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตโรปุริสธัมมัสสารติสัทธาเทวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวะติหันธมายังพุทธาภิกขิติงกโรมาสิพุทธวรหันตวรตาทิโคนาภิยตุสุทธาภิญาณกรุณาหิสมาคตโตบุเทสิโยสุจนตังกัมมลัมวสุโรวันธามหังตัมรนังสิรสาชิเนนทังพุทโธโยสัพพปานินังสรณังเขมหัตถมังปัตมานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนังบุญทาสาหัสมิทาโสวะพุทโธเมสามิเกสโรนพุทโธดุขัสสะขันตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสมิงพุทธาสาหังนิยาเทมิสริรันชีวิตังจิตังวันทันโตหังจเรสามิบุญทาเสวสุบุธิตังนาจิเมสรนังอัญญังบุญโตเมสรนังภรังเยเตนะสัจวันเจนะวันไตยังสัตตสาสเน
บุตังเมวันธรรมาเนนยังปุญญังปัสสุตังหิทังสัพเพเปหันตรายาเมมะเหสุงตัสสะเตจัสสะกายเนวาจายวะเจตสาวาบุตเตกุกัมมังปะกตังมยายังพุทโธปฏิกันหันตุวัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมวริโตวะพุทเตหันธรรมยังธรรมานุสตินายังกโรมาสิสวาคาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันติติโกหะกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปนัญญิโกปัจจตัมเวดิตาโภวิญโยหิเตหันธมายังธรรมาภิกิติงกโรมาสิสวาคาตตาทิโกนโยขวะเสนสยโยโยมาคาปะกะปริยาติวิโมคาเพโทธัมโมกุโลกัปปัฏนาตถาทาริธาริวันธามหังตมหรังวรธัมมเมตังธัมโมโยสัพพปานินังสรณังเขมะพุทธมังทุติยานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนะหังธัมมาสหัสมิตาโสวันธัมโมเมสามิเกสโรธัมโมดุขัสสะขาตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสมิงธัมมาสหังนิยาเตมิสรีรังชีวิตังจิตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสามิธัมมาเสวะสุธัมมตังนาทิเมสรนังอัญญังธัมโมเมสรนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวันเจนะวัฏยังสัตุสาสเนธัมมังเมวันธรรมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตัมหิทังสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมะเหสุงตัสสะเตจัสสะกายเนวาจายวะเจตสาวาธัมเมกุกัมมังปะกตังมยายังธัมโมปฏิกันหันตุวัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมวริโตวะธัมเมหันธมายังสังขานุสตินายังกโรมาสิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆโอจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยาเดทังจัตตาริปุริสโยคานิหาตปุริสปุคลังเอสภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนหิโยปาหุเนหิโยดาคิเนหิโยหันเฉเลกรณิโยอนุตรังปุญญังเขตังโลกัสสติหันธมายังสังฆาภิกิติงกโรมาสิสัทธัมมะโจสุปฏิปัติโคนาทิโยโต โยธาภิโทหาริยปุคลสังกเสโทศีลาดิธรรมภวราสยกายจิตโตวันธามหังตมริยานกนังสุสุทังสังโฆโยสัพพปานินังสรณังเขมวัตมังตติยานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนะหังสังฆาสหัสเมตาโสวะสังโฆเมสามิเกสโรนสังโฆดุขาสักขาตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสเมสังฆาสหังนิยาเตเภสริรันชีวิตัมจิตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสามิสังฆาโสปฏิปันนตังนาจิเมสรนังอัญญังสังโฆเมสรนังพรังเอเตนะสัจวันเจนะวัฏยังสัดสาสนิสังฆังเมวันธมันเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังอิทังสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมะเหสุงตัสสะเตจัสสะ
กายเยนวาจายวะเจตสาวาสังเกกุกัมมังปะกตังพยายังสังโฆปฏิกันหันตุอาจยันตังกาลันตเรสัมบริโตวสังเข
หันธรรมยังสารพันเยนะบุตตมังคลกาทายโยภานาวาเสสัมพุทโธเดปะทังเสโทเนเสนโนเจวามันเจเมคนทันโยบุพภาเกจันหากนายเยจาการสะพุสาริปุตโตจานาคิเนหารติเยวะภาเลจังปัญจเมปิจานันโทพายาเปจังกวัมปติโมคคัลลาโนจาโหตาเรเอสาเนเปจาราหุโนเอเมโคมังกาลาพุทธังสัพเพเย เทตั Nyete sangano bhavena savasoti bhavandono Ence vamachan tanavansanayan namansahanon ratanatayang punyam visantang vipulang anantang tasano bhavin dahatan darayo.
So tonight we'll be doing this Abhidhamma chanting, dedicating one of my very close friend of mine, Bante Subana, who is the chief abbot of London Mindfulness Meditation Center in London. His father passed away 3 days ago. Today was the funeral, and whom I have known. And he also visited me here in Aberdeen in my graduation day, 2015. And he was one of the very enthusiastic to learn Buddha Dhamma, Buddha's teachings, and also became a novice for a couple of times. I also spent some time in Sri Lanka studying Buddhism. And at the age of 78, with old age, he passed away in a hospital. So this morning was the funeral. Now this Abhidhamma chanting will be dedicating to him for his comfortable departure, and also all the members, those who have lost their relatives and friends. So you may think of their qualities of their face and remembering them and wishing for their comfortable departure, and also wherever they have reborn, wishing them to be happy, healthy, and well.
Kusala dhamma, kusala dhamma, bhaya kata dhamma, katame dhamma kusala, yasaming samaye kama vacarang kusalang cetang upannang hote somanan sasagatang Yana sampayatang rupa ramanang va saddha ramanang va kandha ramanang va rasa ramanang va potampa ramanang va dhamma ramanang va Yang wa panharabata saming samaye paso hoti aveke po hoti ewa panata saming samaye Anye pe adipate samupanna arupino dhamma ime dhamma kosalan ปัญจขันธารูปขันโธเวทนาขันโธสัญญาขันโธสังขาราขันโธวิญญาณขันโธตาตกตโมโรปะขันโทยังเกณจิโรปังอเตตานากตปัจจุปันนังอาจจตัมวาปเหทาวาโอลาริกังวาสุขุมังวาหินังวาปณิตัมวายัมโดเรวาสันติเกวาตเตกาจัมอภิสังโยหิตวาอภิสังขิปิตวาหยัมอุจจติโรปาคันโทสังฆโหอสังฆโหสังฆหิเตนะอสังฆหิตังอสังฆหิเตนะอสังฆหิตังสังฆหิเตนะสังฆหิตังอสังฆหิเตนะอสังฆหิตังสัมปโยโคเวปโยโคสัมปโยเตนะเวปโยตังเวปโยเตนะสัมปโยตังอสังฆหิตังชาปัญญาติโยคันธปัญญาติอายตนะปัญญาติธาตุปัญญาติสัจจปัญญาติอินทรียปัญญาติบุคลปัญญาติเกตาวตาบุคลานังบุคลปัญญาติสมัยวิโมตโตหัสมัยวิโมตโตโกปธัมโมอโกปธัมโมปริหานธัมโมอปริหานธัมโมเจตนาภาโบหนุรักขณาภาโบปุถุชนโกตระโภพโยปรโตอภโยปรโตภาปากัมมโนอภาปากัมมโนนิยโตอนิยโตปฏิปันนโกภเลติโตหรหาหรหาตายปฏิปันโนปุคโลหุปลัมปติสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนาติอามันตายโยสัจจิกาโตปรมาโตตโตโสปุคโลหุปลัมปติสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนาตินะเหวังวาตาเปอาจานาเหเนกหังหันจิปุคโลหุปลัมปติสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนะเตนวัตเรวาตาเปโยสัจจิกาโตปรมาโทตโตโสบุคโลหุปลัมปติสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนะติมิจฉาเอเกจิกุสลาธัมมาสัพเพเตกุสลมูลาเยวาปนกุสลมูลาสัพเพเตธัมมากุสลาเอเกจิกุสลาธัมมาสัพเพเตกุสลมูเลนะเอกมูลาเยวาปนกุสลมูเลนะเอกมูลาสัพเพเตธัมมากุสลาเหตุปัจจโยหารัมมณปัจจโยหติปติปัจจโยอนันตรปัจจโยสมนันตรปัจจโยสหจาตปัจจโยอัญญมัญญปัจจโยเนสยปัจจโยหุปเนสยปัจจโยปุเรจาตปัจจโยปัจฉาชาตปัจจโยอาเสวนปัจจโยกัมมปัจจโยวิปากปัจจโยอาหารปัจจโยอินทรียปัจจโยฌานปัจจโยมากปัจจโยสัมปโยตปัจจโยเวปโยตปัจจโยอาติปัจจโยนาติปัจจโยวิกตปัจจโยหวิกตปัจจโยกุศลธัมมาหกุศลธัมมาหพยากตาธัมมาสุขายเวทนายสัมปโยตาธัมมาดุขายเวทนายสัมปโยตาธัมมาอโดคัมสุขายเวทนาย สัมปยุตตาธัมมาวิปากาธัมมาวิปากธัมมะธัมมาเนววิปากนวิปากธัมมะธัมมาอุปาทินนุปาทานิยาธัมมาอนุปาทินนุปาทานิยาธัมมาอนุปาทินนานุปาทานิยาธัมมาสังกิเลสสังกิเลสิกาธัมมาอสังกิเลสสังกิเลสิกาธัมมาอสังกิเลธาสังกิเลสิกาธัมมาสวิตากสวิจาราธัมมาอวิตากวิจารมาตาธัมมาอวิตากาวิจาราธัมมาปีติสหกตาธัมมาสุขสหกตาธัมมาอุเปขาสหกตาธัมมาดัจเนนปหาตาปะเหปหาตาบาธัมมาภาวนายปหาตาบาธัมมาเนวดัสเนนภาวนายปหาตาบาธัมมาดัสเนนปหาตาปเหตุกาธัมมาภาวนายปหาตาปเหตุกาธัมมาเนวดัสเนนภาวนายปหาตาปเหตุกาธัมมาอาจยกามิโนธัมมาหปจยกามิโนธัมมาเนวาจยกามิโนนาปจยกามิโนธัมมาเสขาธัมมาอเสขาธัมมาเนวเสขานาเสขาธัมมาปริตาธัมมามหากตาธัมมาอัปปมานาธัมมาปริตารัมมนาธัมมามหากตารัมมนาธัมมาอัปปมานารัมมนาธัมมาหีนาธัมมามาจิมาธัมมาปณิตาธัมมาเมจัตตนิยตาธัมมาสัมมาตนิยตาธัมมาอนิยตาธัมมามาการัมมนาธัมมามาคเหตุกาธัมมามาคาดิปติโนธัมมาอุปันนาธัมมาหนุปันนาธัมมาอุปาทิโนธัมมาอติตาธัมมาอนาคตาธัมมาปัจจุปันนาธัมมาอติตารัมมนาธัมมาหนาคตารัมมนาธัมมาปัจจุปันนารัมมนาธัมมาอาจัตตาธัมมาปเหตาธัมมาอาจัตตปเหตาธัมมาอาจัตตารัมมนาธัมมาปเหตารัมมนาธัมมาอาจัตตปเหตารัมมนาธัมมาอาจัตตปเหตารัมมนาธัมมาสนิดาสนาปฏิฆาธัมมาอนิดาสนาปฏิฆาธัมมาอนิดาสนาปฏิฆาธัมมาThere is this.หันธรรมยังอุเดสนาเดธานกาทายโยอภานามาเสนเอเมนาปุญญกรรมเมนั through the goodness that arises from my practice upachaya kunataran may my spiritual teachers acharyopakaracham and guides of great fortune Mata Pita Jayataka, my mother, my father, and my relatives, Suryo Chanti Maharajan, the sun and the moon, Gunavanta Narapecham, and all virtuous leaders of world, Brahma Maharaja Indacham, may the highest gods and evil forces, Lokapala Devatan, celestial beings, guardian spirit of the earth, and the Lord of death, Yamamita Manosachan, may those who are friendly, Manchataka Verikachan, Verikapichan, indifferent or hostile, Sabbe Sata Sukhi Hontun, may all beings receive, Punyani Pakatani Min, the blessings of my life, So Kanjati Vidantento, may they soon attain the threefold bliss, Kipam Pape Tavo Matang, and realize the deathless, Imina Punya Kamena, Udisan, Imina Punya Kamena, Imina Udisena Cha, Kepahang Sula Peje Watanupadhana Chetanang, Ye Santane Hina Dhammaya Vane Panato Pamang, Na Santo Sabbata Yewa Yata Chato Phave Phave, Ojo Chetang Sati Panya Salleko Viryam Hina, Mara Labhandano Sankaton Chavirye Sumim, Potati Pavarona To Thammo Nato Varotamo, Nato Pacheka Podo Cha Sankho Nato Taro Mamang, Te Sotamanu Bhavena, Maro Kasang Labhantuma, through the goodness that arises from my practice, and through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachment quickly cease, and all harmful state of mind, until I realize Nibbana. In every kind of birth, may I have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge. Unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my Lord. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled.
Okay, so this is time for the practice of meditation, sitting in a comfortable position. Namato Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Just a minute, something wrong here. Okay, so Namato Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Yeah, this is time for the practice. So, sitting in a comfortable position, bringing your mind and heart to the moment here and now, and leaving all your responsibilities aside, and observe the moment here and now. A practice of a meditation is hello, Tune, Sandra, Margaret, Bande Wandana. I hope you're keeping well, coping with uh, father's death, and our heartfelt condolence goes to you. Jalanpan, Dharma, Josalapa, and everyone. Okay, so this is a time simply to reflect on today. So, a practice of a meditation is applying our effort to understand correctly ourselves, a nature of a psychophysical phenomena within our self. So physical phenomena is basically means this a body or an object. So we are trying to observe this whole body, and this entire body is known as a rupa, which is again a combination of four major elements: the earth, the water, the fire, and the wind. In combination of these four, this form or the rupa or the body is created. Alone, this body will not be able to survive or will not exist, as we see when there is no mind. This body simply becomes just a material, no difference with any stones or wood, that gradually will decay and merge into the earth. As long as there is this mind or a consciousness continue persist, this body continue work or functions. And this consciousness or a psychical or a mental phenomena always helps to maintain the lifespan, and it is also known as a consciousness. And this consciousness and this consciousness or this mind or a mental phenomena is again categorized into two sections. One is a mind, and the second is the mental factors. Without the mental factors, the mind will not be there, or without mind, the mental factors will not function. In a simple term, mind exists only when there is an object. And these mental factors are again classified as a feeling, a perception, and a volitional formation. So, in the practice of a meditation, we are simply trying to understand and this psychophysical phenomena, the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, or the materiality, feeling, perception, and the will and the consciousness. And these five factors, known as the five aggregates, are always there whenever we see, whenever we hear, whenever we smell, or taste and touch, or even the thinking process. So, as we see one object, it is not just an object which is um, being observed. We have to see all other mental factors or mental phenomena as well. I seeing an object, there is a contact. With that contact, you will have a feeling that this is an object of this and that. And with the previous experiences and the knowledge, we will perceive that object as red, blue, white, so on, or this shape or that shape, or this is called this and this is called that. And on the basis of that knowledge and that being observed, the object, and we decide to make it or shake it. And the mind becomes dominant there. So that's why practice of insight meditation is to see these phenomena every time when that arises. But obviously, in the beginning, it would not be able to comprehensively understand all these five phenomena. So that's why we practice by noting or developing the skills to note whenever these phenomena arises. Like the breath in and when breathing in and breathing out, what sort of a phenomena arises? The phenomena of incoming breath and outgoing breath, or the rise and the falls of abdomen, which is again the movement that is very evident. The evidently moving, this rising, falling of abdomen. And these are called Vayu Dhatu, the air element, due to the air element, these changes takes place, or the incoming breath and outgoing breath takes place, or they rise and fall. And when we observe that air element, it is touching to the body, which is the earth element that creates the friction, the heat, and the cohesiveness. And this also helps us to recognize the feelings and how we perceive it, and how we are understanding it. So that's why each thing, whenever this is happening, our simple job is to make a mental note. This is happening. This is what it is. When breathing in and out, it is breathing in and out. Or when you are observing the abdominal rising fall, then it is rising and falling. It is not what you say or what you name or what you perceive it. Perceiving with the concept that is not that important in a practice, but the really matter is to know our understanding what it is. So we need to understand as it arises and as it falls, or as it comes and as it goes, as natural as possible, without any judgment, or without any commentaries or proliferations, simply observing as they are. But obviously, in order to see as things as they truly are, because our mind always engages into so many responsibilities and a daily routine, it would not be easy to observe them. So we just need to develop or practice by establishing our focus in one particular object, simply to free yourself from all the hindrances and gaining concentration. Once you have attained the concentration, and slowly developing your awareness to see the present moment objects or phenomena that arises, and observing them objectively and let it be, as I normally refer to use the formula of observation: observing, acknowledging, noting, and let it go. So this would be the beginning practice at the beginning, just to simply develop the mindset, or training mind to uh, understand this phenomena. So as you're sitting here and now practicing meditation, whatever phenomena arises, simply aware of that phenomena, and simply knowing and letting it be, back to the primary object or focus point again and again. So we'll work with it and continue practicing until you hear the gong. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagavan Bodhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Hey everyone, this is the end of tonight's practice. Thank you and have a good night.